Nick, I'm a fat chud. I'm just always hungry. What do I do? You're in the right place, buddy. We're going to talk about how to deal with hunger so you can stop being a fucking skinny fat loser like I am here. If you've been watching my reels this week, you know I've been spamming this fucking picture because I found it. And oh my gosh, I can't believe I actually used to look like this. Wow. This is from last summer, so I'm going to beat this look in a couple months. But yeah, let's talk about how the fuck I got here, how I maintained this for a long time, how I dealt with the hunger that comes with that, everything you could possibly need to know about this, even though I literally make hundreds of reels about this and I have a full guide about this, and you're good, bro, but we're doing it anyways because you guys wanted it and I'm the fucking goat, so let's go. If they would fucking change slides. Are you serious right now? There we go. Let's throw my ass up here. Yeah, okay. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to fucking accept it, as I alluded to on the last slide. And we're going to change your mindset here because this is the root of everything, honestly, is your mindset around this whole thing. It's the most important thing. That's why we're starting with it. We got to get this shit out of the way. So first of all, you're going to be hungry when you're cutting, when you're trying to actively lose weight, lose fat, get leaner. You're going to be hungry. Everybody knows this. Well, some people don't know this, and they kind of think that they have to try to find ways to not be hungry, do all these diet hacks, all this bullshit. You're going to be hungry if you're trying to lose weight. And if you're lean and you're trying to maintain a lean physique, a low level of body fat, you're going to be hungry. I'm sorry to break it to you, but for majority of people, like at least in my experience with the people that I work with, etc., everybody I talk to who's lean, you're going to be hungry. And if you're lean, then you can probably attest to this, and that's probably why you're watching this. So we're going to get into how to deal with this, don't worry. But you have to first accept this. And until you accept this, you're not going to get lean and you're not going to be able to stay lean. You're going to freaking gain all the weight back if you end up losing it and getting down to it, because anybody can suffer through that hunger in the short term and get lean, but actually staying lean and dealing with that shit all the time, that shit is not for everybody, I can tell you that. And that's another big part of this, is that if it was easy, everybody would do that shit. I know that's cliche as fuck, but it's cliche for a reason. If this was easy, if being lean was easy, especially staying lean year round, if this was easy, everybody would fucking do it. Everybody would have sick physiques. You're starting to see more and more of it now, of course, with the fucking rise of GLP-1s, which if you guys want a video about that, let me know. But yeah, you're seeing it now because people are taking the easy way out with that. It's a whole nother topic. But again, even with that, if it was easy, everybody would do it. Everybody would be lean. It wouldn't even be cool. It wouldn't even be worth the fucking journey, worth the hard work. I think there's beauty in this shit. There's beauty in it being hard. That's what makes it fucking worth it. That's what makes it fun to pursue and fun to try to maintain. And I feel like that bleeds into every other aspect of your life when you're actively chasing towards something and you're actively starving your flesh and challenging yourself and denying your temptations and working towards something. It makes every other aspect of your life, like for me, it makes me more locked in on my business than I already am, even though I'm already ridiculously locked in. It's a fucking Friday night at 9:30 right now, by the way, when I'm recording this, so that should tell you a little bit about that. But you guys don't give a fuck about me, so well, maybe you do, which if you do, then you're the goat probably. But I'm a little bit tired if you can't tell. Anyways, what the fuck was I saying, Doug? This is why I can't do this shit. What was I saying? Yeah, it makes me work harder in my business. It makes me work harder in school. Everything. When I'm locked in, like, I'm just locked in, man. I don't know how else to explain it, but like, you really have to get it through your head. It's something that whenever my clients are struggling with it, with this exact thing, when they're wanting to give up on the cut, when they're really struggling with hunger, whatever the negative effects of it are, and they're really like, fuck this, dude, like, this shit's so hard. I'm like, yeah, man, yeah, it's hard. It's hard. And when that happens, you got to just remember why you started this in the first place. Like I asked them, why did you want to start working with me in the first place? What were the goals that we discussed when we first started together? And I always remind them of those things. And I tell them to lean on those things in times of hardship. And I already talked about this exact thing in depth in my video about how to stay lean year round, which I'm realizing there's a lot of overlap now between those two. But I'm going to try my best to kind of focus more on just how to deal with hunger here. But the main thing is you got to change your mindset around it. You got to accept it, and you got to realize that it's a part of the game. If it was easy, if you weren't going to be hungry, then everybody would be lean and it wouldn't be hard. But that's not how it is. So get over it, accept it, or you're not going to be lean. Simple as. Now, also, understand that it is a privilege to choose to be hungry. You have an abundance of food out there. You're most likely, I mean, I'm not going to assume anything, but you're most likely, like if you're watching this video, you're probably fucking somewhat well off. Like maybe you have your parents to help you out, or you have a job and you can provide for yourself. Whatever. You have food on your table, hopefully. And if you don't, then sucks to be you. I'm just kidding. But like, there are people who don't get the choice to freaking pursue something like this and to try to like starve themselves and be in a calorie deficit and choose to be hungry. Excuse me, sorry. I don't edit these, so you're just gonna have to deal with that. But yeah, like I know that's like it's probably hard to realize and for you to even really care about that. It's hard for me because I've never struggled with that my entire life. I'm very privileged. I'm very blessed, but there's people out there who aren't so blessed, aren't so privileged. So when you're struggling with that and you're like, fuck, dude, this is so hard. You got to remember that people don't get the choice to do this shit, and they're suffering through that. Like, what's the word? I don't know. Not by choice. And also, you got to remember that you're choosing to do this. Remember that. That's something I should have fucking put here. You're choosing to do this. You're choosing to try to be in a deficit, to try to get lean, to try to stay lean. You're choosing to challenge yourself, and you should know that it's going to be challenging, like I just talked about for fucking 10 minutes. But you're choosing to do this, so remember that. Also, you're not going to fucking die. It's just being hungry. Like, if you can't get this idea, like, can't wrap your head around this idea that hunger is not the end of the world, then I encourage you to try fasting. I'm not going to like push that on you, but I would encourage you to try fasting, and you're going to realize that it's not the end of the world at all. And a little bit of discomfort, a little bit of hunger, it's really not a big deal. You make it out to be a much bigger deal than it is. But yeah, so with all that said, now that we got all that out of the way, you got to keep all this in mind at all times. This is the root of everything, which is why we started with it. And it's super important. But let's talk about how to actually deal with this shit. Because obviously we can accept all this, but we can still do things to make it easier for ourselves. So we're going to talk about how to actually do that. Now, before we actually do that, I guess this is somewhat doing that, but it's also addressing another very big thing that we have to do first. So my bad. Also, I just put this shit in Gamma. It's like an AI, makes you a PowerPoint. It's pretty fucking cool, actually. But yeah, so I don't know who the fuck this guy is. He's pretty tough though. But anyways, you're probably not even hungry. Like you're probably not even hungry. You're probably just bored, or you're stressed, or you're trying to deal with some kind of emotion and change your emotional state, give you some form of temporary relief from whatever emotion it is, or you're just a fat piece of shit and you're just fucking looking for food because that's what you've done your whole life. So I know this is a very hard concept for people to accept, and once you accept this, it changes the game, seriously. Bridging the gap between hunger and boredom or some other kind of emotion or whatever it is humongous, because you're gonna have these times when you're bored, especially if you're like fucking, if you don't do much, which we're gonna talk about. But if you're bored often, if you're stressed often, if you use food as an emotional escape for things, which is a whole nother video, you're gonna turn to food and you're gonna mistake that for hunger because you've probably just never really thought about the difference, and you've probably just kind of trained your brain to treat them the same way for your entire life for however long. So this is going to take time to bridge the gap because your brain is probably cooked. You probably don't listen to your hunger signals at all, and you probably are just fried all around. Your brain is rotted basically. So it's going to take time for you to bridge this gap. But I want you to actively think about this, like moving forward after you watch this video. Today, tomorrow, moving forward, I want you to actively think about this. Like ask yourself when you're reaching for more food or you're craving something and you're thinking about getting more food, I want you to really ask yourself, really try to tell am I actually hungry right now? Or am I just bored? Am I just stressed? Am I just craving some dopamine, whatever? Because majority of the time, you're probably one of the latter things, and you're probably not actually hungry. Um, or maybe you're a little bit hungry, but you're primarily these things or whatever. But I encourage you to actively think about this and be mindful of this because it is huge. It's huge. Otherwise, you're gonna always think that you're hungry. You're gonna always be craving things and always be giving into those cravings. And that's probably why you're here. That's probably why you're fat. And I don't want you to deal with that. So I'm trying to help you out here. So please accept this and be mindful of it and try your best to actually like fucking assess it in yourself fucking moving forward. So now let's actually get into how to deal with this shit. So number one thing, as I alluded to before, is fucking get busy. Find something, man. Get a fucking job, please. Please get a job, first of all. Get a hobby, a business. Work hard in school, at your job, your main job, whatever it is. Find something that you're passionate about, that you really enjoy doing, that you can really get immersed in, and you're not even going to be thinking about food. Like right now, like I said, it's 9:30 on a Friday night. I'm home alone here at fucking school. Like, I mean, we don't have shit in the house anyways, but if I wasn't doing this, if I wasn't immersed in my work and didn't have a million other things to do and wasn't stressed about that and all that, then I'd probably be fucking craving something. I'd probably be wanting to eat right now. I'd probably be in the kitchen right now fucking looking for some shit. But because, like I said, I'm so fucking passionate about this and so immersed in it, and I have fucking hours worth of studying to do for fucking physics coming up, plus a million other things. I gotta make all my short form stuff for the week, everything. Gotta reply to my clients, everything like that. You guys don't give a fuck, but I keep myself busy, and it makes things 10 times easier. If I'm not even thinking about food, then obviously I'm not gonna struggle with this. So, 100% best thing you can do is get busy. Also, stay out of your house, stay out of your kitchen. These are kind of two separate constructs, but they're both fucking huge, and it's the same thing. A lot of the times you'll be in your kitchen, like maybe after you finish a meal or just in between meals or whenever, and you're just bored probably, so you're looking through the cabinets, looking through the fridge, and all of a sudden you feel like you're hungry, which goes back to the last slide again. But just being in the kitchen, being in the environment that you're used to eating in, your brain is trained to associate that with hunger, with eating food, right? So when you're in the kitchen, it's going to do that, and it's going to make you want to eat food. So literally, when you're done eating, get the fuck out of the kitchen, which is another thing I'm going to talk about later, but that's humongous. Also, get out of your house in general. If you have a bunch of stuff in your house and that's like a trigger for you, just being in the house, then get the fuck out of the house. Go to the library to study if you're a student like me. Go hang out with your friends somewhere. I mean, usually that's probably not a good idea. That's usually involves food in some regard. But I mean, I don't know what you guys do with your friends, but like, go do something. Go fucking play pickleball with your friends. Go for a walk. Go fucking do something. Do something, man. You gotta do something. You gotta do something, right? Fucking Joey Diaz. Anyways, just do something, man. Get busy, stay busy. Get out of the house, stay out of the house, stay out of the kitchen. It's gonna make your life a lot easier. Now, another thing is move more, man. If you know me, you know I get fucking over 20,000 steps a day on average. I'm not even cutting, and I'm not even like actively trying to get that many per se. I just typically do work while I walk on my walking pad. I was just doing that before. And this allows me to eat way more than I would be able to if I didn't do that shit. If I walked, like the amount of people, like my clients, my friends who walk like 4,000 steps a day or less than that even, like it's insane to me, honestly. And I mean, I was the same way for a long ass time until I decided to get lean, and I realized that this was one of the easiest ways to do that. Before everyone was tapped into this, by the way, before everyone was fucking walk maxing, step maxing, TDE maxing, I was on that shit before all of you, so fuck you. But it's huge. If you move more, you burn more calories, therefore you can eat more calories, right? Yay! Said all your fucking fat ass fucking chuds fucking... Okay, sorry. Let me stop. I had a lot more energy, I think, when I wrote that, but I didn't really fucking do it well. Anyways, this is shaping out to be one of the shorter videos yet. I'm fucking happy about that, man. Next week, I'm going to drop the full... Well, maybe not next week, but next video, hopefully I'm going to drop the whole skinny fat to jacked and lean guide, because that was the second most voted option on the poll, by the way, if you came from there. So that'll be a long video probably. But anyways, I say that as I waste fucking 30 seconds. Anyways, also let me know in the comments what the fuck you want me to post about. What kind of videos you want to see. Like if you want to see, not you guys don't give a shit about me. I was gonna say if you want to see like more of my life, whatever, but we'll wait for that. Anyways, let me know though. But increase your expenditure, walk more, and let me give you some tips to do that real quick. 1, get a walking pad. You can literally do whatever you want on that thing. You can doom scroll, you can do schoolwork, you can do like work on your phone. For me, that means editing videos, scripting videos, replying to clients, replying to DMs, posting my videos. Every single time I post a video, pretty much it's while I'm walking on that thing. Every time I reply to comments and answer messages and do anything like that, any kind of work at all, I just do it on my walking pad. I just kill 2 birds with 1 stone, and I don't even realize that I'm on the thing because I get immersed in it. And next thing I know it, I'm at 20,000 steps for the day, and I get to eat way more calories than I would have been otherwise. You don't need a walking pad. It just makes things 10 times easier, especially during the winter. During the winter time, literally one of the best investments I've made. It was only like $100. But you can also walk outside. Hopefully the weather's not too bad. That's going to be great for your mental health, everything. I can't promote walking more, or I can't promote walking enough. It's generally the best thing ever, especially walking outside, which I'm very excited for the weather to warm up. I cannot wait to just walk outside all the time again. But I also I have a pretty long hallway, and like our kitchen, living room, it's kind of like all one. You guys have probably seen it in some of my short form videos, but I literally just pace up and down that shit when I get bored of being on my walking pad, being in this room. I'll just pace back and forth in that shit. You don't need a big fucking hallway to do that. You can do it in a little room, like just around your house. Whatever you got to do. If you're at work, you can do it like around the office, between meetings. Take advantage of little times you have, like if you have like an 8-minute block, like a weird, awkward little space between meetings or between tasks or whatever, between classes, whatever it is, take advantage of that. Get some steps in. Huge time management, productivity hack right there. Yeah, take advantage of that. Like I said, just doom scroll. Do whatever you normally do while sitting down. Get in the habit of doing that while moving, and it's going to change your life. Genuinely, like it's less normal for me to sit down and do like anything than it is for me to do these things while walking. Like I had to like make myself sit down while I'm like posting or doing anything like that, because it's just not a habit for me. Like the only thing that I really do while sitting down now is studying, doing schoolwork that I like actually need to sit down and lock in for. And like recording this video, I didn't want you guys to hear the walking pad, which also I started using my mic. I realized I can use this shit on my computer, so hopefully the volume's better, because I was watching the R1 back and it was fucking dog shit. Anyways, holy fucking yapper, buddy. Now let's talk about food choices real quick. Everybody knows this shit. You've seen me post about it. You've seen all the fucking cornball ass influencers post about it. But food choices, you want to prioritize high volume, high protein, high fiber, high fat, high micros, and whatever the fuck else I was going to put here. I didn't put too much effort into this little part because you guys probably know this stuff. But if you're eating stuff like peanut butter and fucking just super calorie dense, low volume foods that you can eat like one bite of and be fucking 200 calories deep, like granola is another good example. Like you can literally have like a tiny, not even a handful, like a tiny little bit of that, and it's like 200 calories. Like you think you're gonna get full off that? No, that's probably why you're hungry and not satisfied. So stop doing that. Simple swap, simple examples here. Instead of having rice, have potatoes. Potatoes are extremely satiating because of the high water content, the high fiber content, micros, etc. When you say volume, that's usually what that refers to as having a high water content. So you can think of foods like melons, watermelon, cantaloupe, most fruits in general, most vegetables in general. They have high water contents, and they usually also have high fiber contents and micros, like I just said, which is also great. But all these things are just going to take up more space in your stomach and make you feel more full, more satisfied, make it feel like you're eating more than you actually are. So rice to potatoes is a very easy one. Instead of having a banana, have berries. Berries are awesome. Super high in fiber, super high in like every micro, antioxidant, everything. Taste amazing. Low calorie. Can't glaze those enough. I wish I had some right now. Fucking, I don't think I have any fruit. I think it ran out, but we're re-upping tomorrow morning, so we're all good. Anyways, peanut butter to PB2. That's like powdered peanut butter. If you've never seen it, it's like 60 calories as opposed to fucking 190, and more protein. I think definitely per calorie. I don't know about in general, but pretty much tastes the same. It's fucking easy swap. There's a million other ones I could list out. Like, you guys can figure it out though. Just look up like easy fat loss swaps or some fucking bullshit like that. I'm sure fucking ChatGPT can give that to you. If not, then yeah, you're good, bro. All right, let's talk about eating habits. This is really the root of everything as well. You guys know how much I preach this. I have my fucking guide about this, which also DM me if you want that. I'll talk about that later probably, I'm sure. But your eating habits are everything, because we can like count our calories and do all these things all we want. And obviously those are tools, but if we want long-term success, if we want a good relationship with food, and I don't really like that term, but it's just the easiest one to use. Like, if we want to do these things, then we need to work on our eating habits, because these are what's going to influence how we actually view food, how we actually react to food, like how full we feel from our food, etc., etc. So let's talk about some easy things you can do. I mean, not necessarily easy, but simple things that you can do that will make your life a lot easier, help you deal with that hunger. So first one, I preach this all the time, is just pushing your first meal back. This is going to help you sleep. If you struggle with hunger at night especially, which is when most people struggle with it, push your first meal back. That means instead of having your first meal right when you wake up at fucking 7 a.m. sharp, you're going right to the fucking kitchen eating something. I think that's crazy. I used to do that when I was eating like 5,000 calories a day, because if I didn't, then I would be fucked. But the only way I got lean was when I stopped doing that, and when I started fasting for a couple of hours. And I was telling my roommate this, who's trying to cut right now. I tell it to all my clients. I preach it all the time in my videos. You guys know this. Some people it might not work for you, but for me it works insanely. It's so much easier to be hungry in the morning than it is to be hungry at night, when willpower is at its lowest, when fucking everything, you're just way more likely to fucking go off plan and give into that hunger, and it can impact your sleep negatively. Like, all these things that we don't want can be easily alleviated by just toughing it out for a couple of hours in the morning, pushing your first meal back. Now, you don't necessarily have to do this. You could also just space your meals out more, but I find, for me personally, once I start eating is when I get hungry. I can fast for hours pretty much no problem. Depends on the day, but like, I can fast for a long time, but once I start eating, that time between meals and just like after that first meal in general is when I struggle. And if I have my first meal too early, then I'm way hungrier later at night, and then I can't sleep, or I'm craving things, etc., etc. So push your first meal back, or at the very least, push your last meal back is what I should say also, to be closer to your bedtime so you can sleep better. That's assuming you struggle with insomnia related to being in a deficit, related to being hungry, which a lot of people do when they're cutting, when they're lean. So this is a very easy way to alleviate that, and I can't preach this enough. Now, some other things we can do. We want to be mindful of our eating. We want to stop eating with our phone, watching YouTube, watching this video right now. If you're eating right now, comment below. I'm not gonna lie, I'm guilty of this too. I watch YouTube when I eat, or I do work when I eat most of the time. It's just unfortunately kind of what I have to do. But it's also, I just like to do it. But when I notice myself start to struggle with this, if I'm struggling with constantly being hungry and feeling like I'm never satisfied, etc., then I will tap back into this, and I will focus on making sure I'm actually sitting with my food, eating it slowly, chewing every bite for a lot of fucking chews, or maybe the other way around. I don't know the difference between a bite and a chew, but you could chew my fucking cock. I don't know. Anyways, what are you saying, dude? Get a fucking grip. This happens every video, dog. You're fucking. Oh, okay. Okay. All right. This is what I do. Like when I'm recording shit. When I just go about my day. I don't want to say the word. I'm very tempted to say it. I'm. Okay. If anybody's seen this, any employers or anything, stop watching or something. I don't know. Anyways, so stop eating with distractions. Start eating slower. Chewing more is going to help you with digestion as well, but it's also going to just help you eat slower. Put your fork down between bites. Literally, like, take your time with your meals. Stop inhaling it in fucking 2 seconds. You're not going to enjoy it. You're going to feel like you didn't even eat anything by the time you're done because it happened so quickly. And most importantly here is that it takes time for your food to digest and for it to enter your stomach, which is when the primary signals, hunger signals, actually get sent to your brain, is in relation to the size of your stomach, the content of food in your stomach, etc., etc. So, and this process takes time. It takes time for things like GLP and fucking all the hunger hormones to actually get released and actually register in your brain that I'm not hungry anymore, I just ate. So when you eat a meal and you feel like you're hungry as fuck still right after eating it, it's probably because you inhaled it for one, and you just ate it too fast and you didn't give yourself enough time to actually process it, which is why I say walk after your meals. Get the fuck out of the kitchen. Even if you feel like you're really hungry, like I just said, just get out of the kitchen, go for like a 10-minute walk. I guarantee you're going to feel, at the very least, you're going to feel less hungry than you thought you were, because you're giving yourself time to digest and all that stuff to happen, like I said. You're also getting out of the environment where the food is. You're not thinking about it anymore, hopefully. And worst case, if you're still really hungry after that, then you can just go get more food. It's going to prevent you from eating way more than you would have if you didn't take that walk. Plus, that's an easy way to get more steps in and also improve digestion, insulin sensitivity, everything under the sun. So just fucking do that shit, please. I can't preach that enough, genuinely. But yeah, start doing those things. Stop eating with your phone. Start eating slower. Take your time with your meals. Really try to sit with them and be mindful of how hungry you are, how the food tastes, everything like that. Walk after your meals. Get the fuck out of the kitchen, etc., etc. I can't preach those things enough. Now, in terms of meal structure, again, this was made by the AI. I don't know what the fuck it did. But so meal timing, this mainly comes down to the hunger scale, which you guys know I preach all the time. Shout out JP, my mentor. He put me onto this a couple months ago. And then I used it myself and I started using it with my clients, and everybody, it's like everyone's favorite thing. Like out of all the stuff that I teach my clients, it's almost always the hunger scale that really helps us, especially those who deal with binging and like really struggling with hunger. Is just, the main idea is, I should have put a picture here, but I'm the goat, so I didn't. It's basically one is feeling fucking one is feeling fucking ravenous, like you'd eat anything in sight. You literally, like, you're dying. And a 10 is like you're stuffed to the brim. You're gonna throw up from being so full. The key is that we want to stay in between these things. We don't want to let ourselves get fucking disgustingly full, because who wants to do that? And we don't want to let ourselves get ravenous, because then we're going to make horrible decisions and we're just going to be in a bad place overall. It's going to be impossible for us to feel full. We're going to fucking eat fucking Nikocado avocado style mukbang, fucking hundreds of thousands of calories down the fucking dome. So don't let yourself get there. I like to say try to stay between a 3 and a 7. Obviously, this is arbitrary, and it's going to take time for you to actually judge this hunger perception, like I was alluding to before. It's going to take time. It's something that you have to practice. These are things you have to actually practice. These are skills, by the way. Treat it like any skill. But yeah, so it's going to take time, but it's insanely effective. Like, just the main idea is don't let yourself get too hungry. Don't wait too long between your meals. So the biggest way that I see this happening, and that I've experienced myself with my clients, etc., is like going to work and not eating for 5, 6, however many hours, and then coming home and just being ravenous, and then binging out and overeating and just fucking yourself up because you simply left too much time between meals, let yourself get too hungry. You're also going to be more likely to like go to the fucking drive-thru or something especially if you don't have stuff prepared, which is a whole other story. But excuse me, motherfucker's thirsty. This is not shaping up to be shorter than the other ones. I was lying. I'm a fucking yapper, boy. Or this is the last slide, I think, so you're good, bro. Anyways, yeah, your meal timing in general, everyone's going to be different here with what works for you, especially depending on, like, if you like to intermittent fast, like I was advising or suggesting, that's going to change the timing. For me, I like to eat, right now, my current routine, not that anyone gives a fuck, but I wake up at 7, like, pretty much every day, and I eat my first meal usually at like 11 o'clock. So I'll fast for like 4 hours. It's not that much because I'm not cutting right now. I'm eating a pretty decent amount, so I don't need to fast for that long. When I was cutting in the summer, I was literally fasting, waking up at like 7, fasting until like 2 or 3 p.m. Yeah, I hope I don't have to do that again this fucking year when I get shredded, but I'm not going to because I know what I'm doing a lot more now. But anyways, the timing would be a lot different then. But so I eat my first meal like 11, then I eat my second meal. Depends on if I'm working out that day or if I have work or if I have class, etc. But I'll usually have my next meal at like 2 or 3. So that leaves like 3 or 4 hours between, which is usually like the most that I like to go between meals. Anything more than that, I'm usually pretty fucking hungry. And then I'll have my next meal at like 5:30. Then my next meal at like 7:30, 8. And then I'll have like my 2 kiwis before bed. But main idea is I like to have like anywhere between like 2 to 4 hours between meals. Yeah, like I said before, I find having less time between meals and just having a smaller eating window overall works very well for me. But everybody's different here, and that's why I'm not giving you a specific prescription because that would be stupid. So just figure out what works for you, experiment with different timings, etc. Try to just focus on the hunger scale. Try to stay within that 3 to 7 range, ideally somewhere in the middle, and you're going to be golden. Now, we also have fucking diet hacks. Everyone loves fucking using that term, but these are things like diet soda, sparkling water, fucking keto wraps, and all that shit that I don't even necessarily recommend because they can fuck up your gut, which is why I don't use any of them really anymore. Sparkling water is fine. I actually have to tap into that because I used to hate that shit as a kid, but I'm guessing I probably like it now because I'm not really that picky anymore. But like I used to be a diet soda fiend. I used to have like one a day at least. Haven't had a diet soda in fucking months because I've been taking my gut health seriously, and I don't even know if it was fucking up my gut necessarily, but I just haven't reintroduced it. But these things can help you though, especially if it's just short term while you're cutting. Like when I decide to cut again, I'll probably implement some of these things, but they're just little things to make all this stuff easier. Basically, things like lettuce, adding lettuce to your meals because it's no calories basically, but it's high volume, makes you feel like you're eating more, makes you feel more full, etc. Also provides a little bit of nutrients and some crunch to your meals. Pretty underrated diet hack. But I'm sure you can look on fucking TikTok, Instagram, ChatGPT, look up fucking diet hacks. I'm not here to be one of these fucking, here are my top three diet hacks to get lean, fucking cornball ass influencers. That's not what I am. I'm the GOAT, man. That's what I am. Okay. There's definitely some other shit that I didn't mention here, but again, I've made literally like half my videos are about this exact topic. I have a 25-page guide that covers one, how to set up a deficit in terms of your macros, your calories, everything like that. How to approach that deficit to make sure you're actually going to be able to sustain that fat loss, which is one of the main things that I preach all the time, as you guys know. It's one of the main things that I try to work with my clients. I don't like to just get people results and then they fucking can't do it on their own. They can't keep it up because I just gave them a meal plan or a training plan, didn't actually explain things to them. I'm very educational with it, which I think every coach should be. And if you're not, then you fucking suck. But also, I have a page about gut health. I have a page about yo-yo dieting, multiple pages about that. Multiple pages about binging, I think like 4. Multiple pages about like how to manage off-plan cheat meals. Literally like everything you could ever need to know regarding any of this shit pretty much is in that guide. If you want that shit, if I haven't sent that to you already, then just DM me on Instagram. You can DM me the word fit. I don't automate it. I don't use ManyChat like many coaches do. I actually send them myself. So if you've commented that on one of my videos and I didn't send it to you, just DM me because I probably just missed it. But yeah, so if you want that, I'll send that over to you. There's a lot of helpful stuff in there, like seriously. More of these diet hacks and like little tips and tricks and just more of this stuff. I wrote this shit holy fuck, I can't get over this picture, dog. I wrote this shit very quickly, so I probably left some stuff out, but it's also just like a crazy fucking topic to cover in one little video. But hopefully I did a good job. Hopefully this was helpful. If it wasn't, then I'm sorry, genuinely. Like my goal with my business, with these videos, with my Instagram videos, TikTok, everything, is just to help you guys out as much as possible, provide as much value as possible to you guys. I want to help you guys have a transformation like this, a transformation better than this, because this isn't even that crazy. I want to help you guys fucking change your lives and make all these things easier for you, so you don't spin your wheels like I did for years and struggle like I did, and just make your lives easier. That's what I want to do. That's why I like coaching. Part of it, obviously. But yeah, and if you're interested in that, if you've ever thought about getting a coach, just shoot me a DM. We'll talk about the details. I'll try to see if I can help you out. I probably can. I help people with so many fucking things, binging, fucking sustainable eating habits, all this stuff that I'm talking about here and in the guide, fucking getting jacked, which is like the main thing that I'm most knowledgeable about. I'm literally studying it in school. Everything pretty much under the sun, I like to try to help people with. And I'm always looking to take on more guys. Help me build my business. Help me continue to grow it. Help me help more of you guys, because I fucking love this shit. And stop trying to spin your wheels and do this shit all yourself, because that's probably why you're fucking skinny fat, or you're just fat, or you're just skinny, or you're just a fucking loser and you're not happy with your physique and it's just mid all around. Help me take that shit to the next or let me help you take that shit to the next level for this fucking summer, so you can be fucking shredded and all that shit. Okay, enough of the fucking promo, man. Jeez, every fucking person clicked off while I was fucking talking. I'm literally talking to myself right now. Anyways, yeah, DM me if you're interested in that. DM me if you want the guide. Comment below. Like the video, please. Support me. Like and comment. Comment what you want me to post about. I think my next two videos are going to be the skinny fat to jacked and lean guide and pre-workout nutrition full guide. I think those are my next two videos, but we'll see what happens. Let me know what you want to see. I'll make it, probably. Yeah, man. Fucking, I don't know, man. God bless. Hope you guys are doing well. Hope you're having a good weekend whenever you're watching this shit. Share with a friend. Subscribe. Follow me on Instagram. Follow me on everything, probably. I'm going to go try not to blow my head smooth off. Yeah, bye.